Hey, if you live in South Florida and you've been watching apartments and condos pop up everywhere, or maybe you've been frustrated that you can't afford most of them, this video is for you. Florida just made some major changes to a law called the Live Local Act. And honestly, it could change the way South Florida looks and feels over the next decade. We're talking more housing, different kinds of land being used, and a financial tweak that could actually get more of these projects off the ground faster. Now, let's break it all down. So first, quick backstory for anyone who's new to this. Back in 2023, Florida passed a law called the Live Local Act. The whole idea was to tackle the housing affordability crisis by making it easier and faster for developers to build affordable housing. Here's how it works. If a developer agrees to set aside at least 40% of units as affordable, meaning for people earning at or below 120% of the area median income, the state lets them skip local zoning rules and build at the highest density allowed in that city or county. That's a big deal. Usually, getting approvals from local governments is a long, expensive process. Live Local basically cuts through a lot of that red tape. In South Florida, we've been all over this. Miami-Dade County alone makes up nearly 43% of all Live Local proposals in the entire state. Adding Broward and Palm Beach and South Florida accounts for roughly 60% of all proposals statewide. So yeah, this affects us more than anywhere else in Florida. Okay, so Florida lawmakers just passed a third round of updates to Live Local, and the governor still needs to sign it. But here's what's on the table. New types of land are now eligible. This is a big one. Up until now, Live Local projects could only be built on commercial, industrial, or mixed-use land. New update opens the door to government-owned land. Think property owned by cities, counties, and school boards. As long as that government entity agrees to co-file the project with the developer, it's fair game. Think about how much underused land is sitting in government hands right now. Vacant lots, old municipal properties, that could all potentially become housing. But wait, there's more. The update also allows Live Local projects on land owned by religious organizations, churches, temples, mosques, with a few conditions. The site has to be at least 3 acres. The house of worship has to have been there for at least 10 years, and it has to stay open and operational after the project is built. If you've noticed churches or faith communities in your neighborhood sitting on a big piece of land, this could mean a developer approaches them about a partnership. That's already been trending in South Florida, and this law could seriously accelerate it. Change number two, a finance fix that actually matters. Now, this one might sound a little dry, but stick with me, because it could be the thing that gets more projects actually built. Right now, developers get property tax benefits when a Live Local project is completed. Under the new rules, those tax benefits kick in the moment a building permit is pulled. Live Local offers a 75% tax break on units for residents earning between 80% and 120% of AMI, and a full 100% tax break on units for residents earning below 80% of AMI. Getting that benefit earlier in the process means developers and their lenders have a much clearer financial picture from day one. One banker quoted in a recent report on this said it best. It makes the project way easier for a bank to underwrite. Translation: more projects will get funded, and more of them will actually get built. All right, so what does all of this actually mean if you're someone living here? If you're a renter or someone hoping to buy, more supply should eventually put some downward pressure on prices, at least in theory. South Florida has a massive housing shortage, and Live Local is one of the bigger attempts to address that. More eligible land plus, easier financing, more units potentially coming online. If you're a homeowner in an established neighborhood, heads up. That church down the street or that vacant government lot nearby, it might be getting developed. That could be a good thing or a complicated thing, depending on how you look at it. Worth paying attention to local zoning meetings. If you're just a South Florida resident watching your city change, this is part of why it's happening. The state is essentially overriding local zoning to push housing forward. Some cities and residents aren't thrilled about losing that local control, but the housing crunch is real. One thing worth noting, as of right now, 191 Live Local projects have been proposed across Florida, representing about 57,000 housing units. But only a handful have actually broken ground so far. These updates are designed to close that gap between proposed and actually built. So, to recap, Florida just gave the Live Local Act its third update, expanding eligible land to include government and religious properties, and moving up the timeline on tax benefits to help developers get financing faster. For South Florida residents, this could mean a lot more construction activity in neighborhoods you wouldn't have expected. Whether that's exciting or concerning probably depends on your situation. But either way, it's worth knowing about. If you found this helpful, drop a comment below. I'd love to know what you think about all this development happening around us. And if you want more breakdowns of what's going on in South Florida real estate and housing policy, hit subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.